Hello and welcome back to the Daily Mentor Message. Disclaimer and forewarning. I'm about to get all up in your business. You okay with that? But I'm going to speak real, I'm going to speak candidly, and I'm going to speak directly to you because I love you. Here's the bottom line. You can be either negative or positive in life, but only one is going to get you somewhere. That's just the reality. And so I want to talk about optimism versus pessimism. What if I said, hey, you want to live at least 11 to 15% longer? Now, 11 to 15% longer may not mean much, but here in the United States, the average lifespan is 79 years. So what if I said, you want to live to be 88? That's 11% beyond 79. Or do you want to live to be 96? That's 15% beyond 79. So just on that alone, if I could show you something that would help you live 11 to 15% longer, would you want to know about it? And the answer is, probably. Put a smile on your face. Be optimistic for no other reason than science has proven, meaning real smart people in white lab coats with pocket protectors and pens looking through microscopes and studying cells have determined and published in medical journals that optimistic people live 11 to 15% longer than pessimistic people. How crazy is that? But think about it. If you're an optimistic person, and otherwise you're a glass is half full kind of a person, you look at everything from an optimistic point of view, no matter what happens to you, you're going to respond differently than someone who is looking at it from a glass is half empty, pessimistic, I'm always mad point of view. So if something bad happens to somebody who's already in a good mood, it's going to be easier to tolerate. But if you're already in a bad mood and something happens to you, you might just fly off the handle and over exaggerate your response. I think that's happening on a mass scale around the world right now. Just look around. There are more pessimistic people than there are optimistic people because maybe they just don't know if they chose to go onto the other side of the fence and look at the glass as half empty and the grass is always green and just rainbows and waterfalls and unicorn farts and stuff like that. People would live 11 to 15% longer. So I'm inviting you to look on the positive side of the equation and train now, is this easy all the time? No, you got to retrain yourself. And the easiest way to train yourself from thinking negatively to thinking positively is just stop, pause, put on the brakes and look around you and go, what am I thankful for? Oh my gosh, if it's nothing else other than you got air in your lungs and a voice in your head that you can use, a mouth in your head that emits a voice if you choose to use it. So look around, be grateful. You've got friends, you've got family, you've got food in your refrigerator, you've got a roof over your head, you've got clothes on your body. Bare minimum, those are all great things to be grateful for. So wherever you are, start this process of shifting from where you currently are to the optimistic side of the equation. Start with gratitude. Be grateful for the things you have, the small things. And the more small things, the more you start to recognize the good things and the bigger things. And the more bigger things, the more you start to look at. They're all a relationship to your life. But I'm going to give you 3 tips, 3 hacks, if you will. 1, don't play the victim and don't do things that create victims. I'm going to say that again. Don't play the victim and don't do things that create victims. So when something bad happens to you, don't ask why. That's playing the victim card. Don't ask why. Ask, what does this mean? What must I do? And what can I learn from this? What does this mean? What must I do? And what can I learn from this? If you took every one of the negative things that happened to you and realized it might not be happening to you, it might be happening for you. You just have to shift the way you look at it. When something bad happens, what does this mean? What must I do? What can I learn from this? And then don't do things to create victims. Don't do things to intentionally harm people. Don't say things, don't post things, don't act upon things that make other people feel less than, because then you're creating victims. And when you do bad to other people, it doesn't make you feel good. Optimistic people do not create victims. Optimistic people celebrate people's small little things so they become more self-aware and much more likelihood to become optimistic people themselves. The others, control the controllables. Whatever you can control, control that. Whatever you cannot control, leave it alone. If more people understood that one concept, control the controllables. In other words, control what you can control and leave what you can't control to other people. If people just grasped that concept and held on to it, there'd be a lot more stable, less pessimistic and people and a lot less chaos. Because people are trying to control the things they can't control. And when they realize they can't, they get louder and louder and they try harder and harder and it gets more and more chaotic. Abandon the attempt to control things you can't control. You cannot control whether the sun comes up tomorrow. You cannot control who is going to be the next president in our country. With your one vote, you may be able to, but on the broad spectrum, it's out there. You know, it's out there in the universe. God's going to control it, but give your voice nonetheless. Give your vote nonetheless. Don't control the things don't try to control the things you can't control, and you'll have a lot more happiness. And then choose to be positive. When something happens to you, when you see something, when you read something, when you meet someone, when someone says something, when you encounter something, stop, pause, put on the brakes, and choose. How am I going to respond? Take a deep breath, count to 10, and then respond in a positive way. And it may be completely against your nature and what you would typically already started to do. Zip the lip, hold it, count to 10, and then respond differently. And eventually what's going to start happening, you're going to reprogram your subconscious mind. The first time, your subconscious mind is going to go, you can't do that. Who do you think you are? And then you override that voice and you do it anyway. The inside voice is going to go, oh, okay, yeah, wait till next time. You can't do that again. And then when something happens again, you're about to be triggered, you pause, you take a deep breath, count to 10, and then you respond in a positive way. Eventually, you are going to reprogram your operating system, my friend. And you can reprogram your life from being negative or pessimistic to positive and optimistic and plan on living 11 to 15% longer. That right there is your challenge. Go make it happen, because you can be a negative or positive person in life, but only one is going to get you somewhere. And that's the positive side. So get you to the goal, get you to the relationships, get you to whatever goals and lifestyle you're looking for. Be optimistic, put daily action into it, support great people, choose to control the controllables, choose to be positive, and don't play the victim and don't create victims. Ask yourself, what does this mean? What must I do? What can I learn from this? There you go, my friend. Implement those things and watch how your life transforms. Have a wonderful day. Take care. God bless. And if you found any value in this at all, please share it forward, because they deserve to hear it too. Take care. God bless.